Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. So I am very much looking forward to doing a couple of readings today with some people that phone in. So it'd be nice to speak to you both. And also hello to all the listeners. But before I go to that, I've been thinking about, I always like to sort of think about, something sort of spiritual. And today I was thinking about some of the wonderful people that we've had in our world that has made a difference to our world. And so I was just sort of thinking about, who they could be. And perhaps you have some ideas as well. And of course we have God, that he is probably the greatest of all our world, of everything in our world. But and then of course Jesus and a lot of people from the Bible era. But there's people that are more recent than that have made a difference in our world. And somebody like let's say Gandhi, he helped the Indian people become independent and was fought fiercely, but with non-violence and truth. He used to use this word satyagraha, which basically means non-violence and truth. And he sort of enabled the Indian people to sort of profit out of some of the things that they weren't profiting out of. For instance, the salt that was collected in India, then transported back to the UK. These terrible British people, I don't know. And he managed to get that all changed and became independent. So, and I wonder sort of, when you think about his work, you think about, God being behind that and sort of, or the spirit world being behind that and sort of urging that person in that life to do that amazing work. Frederick Douglass did a lot of work with the slave movement in the 1800s, and again, he was heralded as somebody that did so much for the slaves. And Harriet Tubman was renamed Moses, which I think is rather charming, because she did exactly the same as what Moses did. And also, don't you find that funny, or funny, not funny, haha, but funny, peculiar, or interesting, should I say? Funny, interesting. That's the word I want. Did you find that interesting that with all the people, there is often sort of spiritual work going on? Harriet Tubman had God spoke to her and told her which route to take to be safe. And I think that's sort of quite sort of interesting about that. But yes, so that was sort of a couple more people, and then there was Nelson Mandela, who did a lot of work in Africa, as did Gandhi, about the rights of Black people, and then of course Martin Luther King Jr. I love that speech. I Have a Dream. It's almost sort of etched in my mind how amazing. And when I think of that speech and how great that speech was, and how incredible that speech was, I think to myself, there's got to be spirit behind that. There's got to be spirit inspiring him with the words, which spirit will do time and time again. But with all these people, they've had courage. They've had courage to go out into the world and do things that are quite miraculous and quite amazing. And but courage comes in small little doses and large packages. They're sort of great. You could sort of describe them as having great courage. But it may be sort of just courage to take that job, or courage to go out on that date with that person that likes you, courage to change your life in a little way, and I think sort of having guidance from somebody like myself or any of the other people that work on A1R radio, who are wonderful at giving guidance, I think that can sometimes be the stirring within us to take that courage, to take that leap of faith, because spirits have a wonderful way with their words of inspiring us to take that plunge and coming away with an idea of, I'm going to do it. I'm going to change my way, my life, my ways, I'm going to, perhaps ring up that person that I haven't spoken to for a long time, but I was too frightened because I didn't know what they were going to say. It can be all sorts of things, small or big, but courage is something that spirit are here always to help us with, wherever we need courage in our lives. And so I hope that spirit inspires us today with courage to do some great things and moving forward in all of our lives. But anyway, I'd like to go to a caller, and I believe that Alina in Palmetto, Florida is there. Are you there, Alina?
Yes, it's Alina.
Hello and welcome to the show. It's very nice to speak to you. Now, I am a medium, which means I can connect to loved ones, or I can go to my guides and give you guidance over a particular area. Is there a particular way where you'd like me to focus?
I don't know. Honestly, there's a lot going on. So whichever, I'm a triplet, and the youngest triplet, she died, and tomorrow will actually be a year. And I don't know if it's, I don't know, I keep getting this feeling like she wants, there's something she has to say to me.
Did you say this is your youngest child, did you say?
She's the youngest triplet. There's three of us. I'm the oldest, then there's the middle triplet, and then the youngest triplet. She died. Tomorrow will be a year, and it's
right.
15 days before our birthday. So September's a really bad month.
Yeah. I feel like she's quite pretty. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Because she's standing in front of me and just told me that. And she says, in actual fact, she feels that we're all pretty, all of us have sort of good looks, and we were blessed with those good looks. And that's what she's saying to me. Is that correct?
Yeah, she always thought that all three of us were very pretty. I mean, we're identical triplets.
Right. Okay. Well, if you're identical, then if she's pretty, then you must be too. So if that's something she's always said, then that's evidence in itself that she's speaking to me. Now, she is saying to me that this last year has been a tough year for her, not because she's in a wonderful place and okay in where she is. It's been tough because of the people that she's left behind and because of circumstances that have happened within this year and the struggles that people have gone through. And I feel like it's not just you, but it's other members in your family as well that have gone through serious struggles. And she's saying to me that she was the one that would always like to sort of solve a problem or help everyone out or be there for somebody. And this is where she's found it incredibly frustrating, because she hasn't been able to be there to help yourself in probably some of the biggest problems that you've had in your life. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
And she's saying to me that just because I'm not there doesn't mean to say that I'm in the background sort of trying to give you all the help and the guidance that you need. And she's telling me that she won't be leaving your side until everything is smooth waters, because she's telling me it's very, very turbulent at the moment. And she's just showing me, like she's just given me somebody shouting in my ear. And I feel like she's referring to you, like somebody's shouting at you. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
And somebody is being like aggressive, abusive, and shouting at you, and 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 she's telling me enough's enough, enough's enough. We can't, you almost like you can't go on like this, because she says that it's almost like you're on the floor with your circumstances, and
What?
she's on the I don't know if that's an English expression, because sometimes I come out with sort of stuff that we would say in England, because I'm from England, or whether it's something sort of universal in the English speaking world. But we would say you're on the floor, which means like you've got no more energy to cope with your circumstances.
Right.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I can't really hear the last part you're saying.
Yes, so overwhelmed with your circumstances. Like you don't know how to sort of move forward with your circumstances. And she basically, I feel like there's somebody around you that has a lot of control over you and is abusive to you, and has put you down on numerous occasions. And so consequently, you've lost your confidence, and your confidence and your bright spark, your bright energy has been lost. And she's saying to me that there's only one solution to this, and she feels that you need the strength and the courage to move out of that situation, because that situation that you're in is not doing you any good whatsoever. Obviously, this is Gail coming in now, and I have to say we all have our own free will, and this, don't forget, this is your sister's opinion, and so you have to do what you feel is right. But
Right.
she's saying to me that she is absolutely not going anywhere. She's right by your side from now on, because she wants to protect you. And I feel also, I don't know, she's showing me like you're sort of, have you ever been like, has there been violence around you as well? Because she's showing me like you're sort of like almost being sort of moving back very quickly, as though either you've been pushed or something like that.
Yeah.
And she says that she's sorry that she's had to sort of publicly state this, but she wanted to show to Gail, to me, the importance of what she's saying, and the importance of what you need to be safe, and how you need to like protect yourself. Children, have you got children?
Yes. I have a daughter.
And
she left behind 2 boys.
so you've got the two boys with you, have you?
No, they were going to stay with me, my mom, and my daughter. But my brother, a week before she passed, she called my brother and asked him. She, out of nowhere, she said, if anything ever happens to me, I want you to promise me that you're going to take my boys. And he's like, stop talking like that, like if something's going to happen. She's like, promise me. So, and my brother used to travel. Well, he stopped traveling, and he got custody of both of her boys.
Right. But she's also saying to me that that what's going on with you is impacting your daughter.
Yes.
Or impacting. I feel like it's impacting you, and at your daughter, and she says that you've got to make a change, and she's just really sort of urging you to sort of think about moving forward with your life. And she knows that it's going to be an incredibly difficult step to take, but she fears for you, and she says that there is nothing that she hasn't seen. She's seen everything, and she's she's saying to me that she loves you, and there isn't anything that she wouldn't do to help you. And I feel like she's really stressing that point. She's not going anywhere. She's right by your side, and she's urging you to consider her words. Now
I have like a lot of guilt because of what happened with her, and I feel like she's mad at me.
You have guilt because of.
Because
Sorry.
I was there when it happened, and I feel like I didn't like react in time fast enough. That I have like all this guilt where I think about it all the time, and it's like it's still not real to me, and that's why
Okay.
like I don't.
Well, hold on a moment. She's talking to me. She's saying what she's saying is stop right there. Do not feel guilty. You haven't done anything wrong. I don't, she said, like, stop right there. She went really sort of quite firm with me. I don't see you in a bad way in any way. She says, don't go there. Don't stop right there. And she's just saying that she loves you and won't, and is 100% there to support you through this difficult time. I know that. Look. If you want to come and talk to me on Facebook tomorrow, find me on Facebook. My name is Gail Moffat, and if there's any questions or anything that I can do to help you, I will do. And I'm so sorry that you're going through. My name is Gail Moffat, Moffat. It's the same spelling as the town in Scotland, Moffat.
Okay.
And
okay.
It will be easily noticed on Facebook.
Okay.
So just find me, and thank you for calling in. And don't forget, your sister is not going anywhere. She's right there with you. And hopefully, I'll be able to. We can text or something on Facebook.
Okay. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, and good luck with everything. Thank you, Alina. Okay, so we have Roseanne in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Are you there?
I am here.
Oh, what a happy sounding voice. Right. I am a medium, which means that I'm able to connect with loved ones, or I can go to my guides for guidance. Is there a particular way how you'd like me to work, and where would you like me to focus? We've got about 10 minutes left of the show, so sadly we haven't got a lot of time.
I'll let you go into it and you see what you can get.
Okay, so it's just generally whatever. Is that
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You just want me to sort of just connect with whatever comes up.
Right.
Okay.
I'll make it easy for you.
Pardon?
I'll make it easy for you.
Actually, I find it easier if I have to focus on something. But don't worry. I've got a gentleman and a lady standing in front of me from the spirit world, and I feel that this is a grandfather and a grandmother, and I feel like this is the grandparents that you didn't perhaps know as well as the other ones. Would that make sense to you, about grandparents that you didn't know as well?
Grandmother, yes, but grandfather, not so much.
Okay, because it's the grandfather that's speaking to me, and so he's the one that you didn't know. Is that right?
Well, I knew him, but I was pretty young.
yeah, I know that you knew him. I just know that you didn't know him that well. And but he's telling me that the I feel like your other grandparents, or maybe he's referring to the grandmother, but he makes me feel like the other grandparents you knew better than him.
Mm, not really.
Okay. So so you knew. Okay. Well, so it could be either one set of the grandparents then. So I'm just going to carry on and see what I get. So what I would like to say is that I want to go straight to a birth certificate, and I, it's either a birth certificate or a marriage certificate, but I know it's a certificate where you have to sort of organize your name or details of your family structure. And I feel like this could be a marriage certificate. But it's almost like your grandfather is crossing out a name and saying that there is a different name on this marriage certificate, that it should be correct. I don't know whether it's marriage or birth certificate, but that says to me that you are interested in your genealogy. Because often I get this sort of thing when people have been exploring their sort of ancestry or genealogy. But I'm being told that I feel like the person that says that they are the father is not the real father. And I don't know where it is in the structure, but he's come straight in and told me that. Does that make sense to you, what I'm saying?
On my behalf? Or like we're speaking about myself here? Or?
I'm not sure yet, but have you been exploring genealogy?
I have, well, I didn't start it yet, but I am in the process of getting papers organized, yes.
Right. So what happens is when people are organizing genealogy, quite often in my mediumship, I will get circumstances exactly like this, where people will come forward and say, what you think is correct is not correct. In other words, so he's showing me a marriage certificate which will show who the father is, and the father is incorrect. It's not the real father. In other words, the wrong name has been put in on either a birth certificate, and I feel it's to do with him. It's to do with him. I feel like uh, it's he's telling me that his father is not the real father, that it was put on the birth certificate and is incorrect. So when you start exploring your genealogy, that will be almost like a difficulty that you're going to come up against, because he it so in other words that would be your so in other words that's your great your great grandfather on your great grandfather on your grandfather's side.
Great grandfather on my grandfather's side. I'll have to question that one on.
So it's your father's. So your grandfather's father is not the father that you think is. And so if you go down the trail of with your genealogy and looking into who's who, you will be getting the wrong information, because he's not your father. The wrong person was put on the birth certificate. And I feel that I seem to feel like you're going to end up getting that information on the marriage certificate. And there's something to do with the marriage certificate and the birth certificate. And I've got a feeling you might see a difference in names and it will get confusing.
Interesting, because I just recently got just recently got the birth certificate, long form.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to press him for some more clarification on this. Let's see. He's saying that when you look closely at the birth and the marriage certificate, I feel like it's the marriage certificate for him and the birth certificate for him, you will see a difference.
A difference in?
I feel
names?
in some of the names, yeah. The names have changed. And he's saying to me that he wants to bring that information through to you. He's so keen to bring that through to you because he doesn't want you to go down a dark alley and get all the wrong information. He wants you to get the correct information. And he says, so he's saying to you, scrutinize the names on the birth and marriage certificate around him. And he says you will get to see that there is a difference. There is definitely a difference in the name, but I feel like the difference isn't so obvious. It's slight. And
like, are you saying the last names, the first names, like, or?
I'm asking him which name is it. He's telling me first and last name is different.
Okay, so if I'm
correctly, it could easily be missed if you don't, because you're looking. If you look at he's telling me it could easily be missed in the way that it's structured on your birth certificates. Now, I'm English, and so I don't have a knowledge of how the American birth and marriage certificates are formulated and the order of and what details will be on there. So it's slightly difficult for me to give you exactly what's going to happen, because Spirit use your reference bank, your knowledge. So that's an area of knowledge that I don't have. But what I will say is that there is basically his father is not the father, his real biological father.